All right, we are back with another pick'em video. Going to be going over my favorite plays for the NBA today. We only have 4 games, so not a bunch of value screaming off the page, but going to attack it as best we can. Go over kind of each individual game and how we're going to approach it, and then ultimately get you guys 5 picks for today. Now, don't forget it is Taco Tuesday, and it's like Super Taco Tuesday because it's like Christmas tacos. So there should be like 5 tacos today. So definitely take advantage of those tacos. They're free squares typically, and the Ja Morant ones that's up right now, I'm definitely really liking. So if you're new to this channel, definitely go ahead and subscribe. We're on the road to 10K after just passing 5,000 subscribers. So can't thank you guys enough for that. So yeah, super excited to keep growing. Like the video so more people can see it, and then comment down below if you like one of these picks, maybe don't like one of these picks, or if you want to just roast me for like having bad picks yesterday, more power to you. But I don't, I don't like shy away from these picks. I go over my picks regardless if I hit them or if I don't. Now I will say we're very, very consistently over 50% at least. So 2 for 3 is not a normal day for us, but we like to go over them, just kind of talk about maybe why they hit. And why they didn't. So Paul George ended up getting there, and they crushed the Indiana Pacers. He was going up against his old team. We actually had 3 guys going up against their old team. So Paul George crushed it, 27 points. Kawhi had a good game, 28 points. Harden went crazy in that game. He had 35 plus in that game. And then got there for us. Patrick Williams, a little bit of a sweat there, but ended up getting there for us in the fourth quarter. And then for the misses, Sadiq Bey. I mean, this one was weird to me. 42 minutes in a game that doesn't even go to overtime. DeJounte Murray, for comparison, had 32 minutes, and Sadiq Bey just creeps over by 1.5. Unfortunate there. Now, someone did point out, like I talked about, Randall going up against his old team. He was also going up against his old team in Detroit, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Probably doesn't. These are professional teams. They're not saying, oh, I'm playing my old team, maybe 40 minutes. But that was an annoying one for sure. Julius Randle, kind of another annoying one. 3 assists at halftime, ends up not getting another one the rest of the game. And this is a game that Randall had a great game. We kind of knew that he was going to have a good game. Looked good for him in terms of the odds. But the assist one, his line was popping off the board for us, so we definitely went for that. Unfortunately, didn't get there for us. And then Michael Porter Jr., I got to probably blacklist at this point. I think I curse him every single time I bet on him. He has a horrible game. Every time I don't bet on him, he seems to, consistently hit that line. I've gone to him 3 times in the past couple of weeks, and he doesn't even come close every time I do. So might be blacklisted for the future. But let's try to, definitely bounce back here and attack the board with some confidence. But again, here are the promotions. Again, if you haven't used that Kevin Durant one, I know it's kind of annoying to have it just waiting in your entries. But you're gonna forget. Trust me, I've done it a million times, thinking I'm gonna do it at a later time. You will forget. I know you have 155 billion hours to get it in. I would just do it as soon as possible. And then one more thing before we jump into the board. Do want to shout out Chalkboard, guys. You might have heard of it from other YouTubers, but they are awesome. It's kind of like Sleeper, if you know Sleeper. It's a pick'em website like PrizePicks and Underdog, so if you're not familiar with any of the space. But Sleeper and now Chalkboard give you not fixed payouts, but payouts based on the odds of them happening. So if you might be like, oh, maybe I like the fixed odds, that's fine. But you also get access to a ton more of lines because they're paying you according to what you're betting on. So some lines that are on PrizePicks and Underdog, or that wouldn't be on PrizePicks and Underdog, will be on Chalkboard. And you can also do alternate lines, which is really, really cool. They also have flash sales, things like that. And they're trying to throw money at you guys. 100% deposit match using my code RICHPICKS, or my link in the description is even easier. You just click that and you'll be getting that 100% deposit match. So check them out. They're super cool. I literally got the app yesterday when they reached out. So excited to get my first entry on there. And yeah, super pumped. Take advantage of that promo. But yeah, that's a Chalkboard. Really, really cool. But let's jump into PrizePicks here. That's what we're going for today. And yeah, let's jump into it. So let's go chronologically like I always do. Again, first of all, just going to throw that Ja Morant line in here. His points did bump up from 24.5 to 25. I was going to take his 24.5 line. I think he's going to have a great game. He's going to be hungry. He's going to want to play. He's been posting Instagram saying he's ready to roll. And, him and Desmond Bain and Jaren, they're probably pumped and probably pissed off, honestly, that they're 6 and they have 6 wins on the year or whatever it is. So they should come out playing hard against the Pelicans, a team that they have some history with. So Ja going against Zion should be a fun one, and he should crush this line. So starting off very confidently with that taco. You got about an hour and a half to put that in. There's also another taco, this NHL one. This one looks pretty solid as well. I would be playing all the tacos. I always do. But yeah, looks pretty good. Let's go into our real first pick here. Again, chronologically here. But let's go to Brandon Ingram. Staying in the same game, and again, I think it's going to be a lot of the narrative of Ja versus Zion. I think they're going to be playing with a lot of confidence. That Memphis team, I would not be surprised if they won this game just based on playing hard. But Brandon Ingram, I'm going to go to his under. I will show you why. It's not just me saying I don't think he's going to have a good game. This is Outlier, one of the tools I use. Definitely check them out. They have a free trial, 7 days free trial if you hit my link in the description. So definitely try them out. They're super cool in terms of showing how players have done recently, the matchup, opponent ranks, and things like that. So very, very cool app. Definitely check them out and let them know I sent you there. Brandon Ingram, if I can do this. Let's go to his points. We'll just jump into his page though, and go to his points line right here. Minus 105 to go over, minus 113 to go under this 23.5. So this line is moving, I want to say, to a more 50-50 roll. Not 50-50 just yet, but this was very heavily favored. I think it was plus 105 to go over, yeah, and then minus 130 to go under. So these lines might be moving a little bit, but I still like his under here. 2023 is about a 50% rate. They're going under the last 10. He's gone under in 6 of 10. Now we do see that he can absolutely pop off. Had 40, just a few days ago against Washington, but that's against Washington. Memphis, when they're fully healthy, should have a decent defense. No Steven Adams down there, but they got the old man, not even old. He's just kind of been in the league for a while. Bismack Biyombo taking that center spot, and then Jaren, obviously Defensive Player of the Year type candidate. So 2023, about a 50% rank here. And again, in terms of points allowed, they are kind of a middle of the road team here, 112. But Brandon Ingram going against these guys doesn't typically do very well. Has gone under in 5 of 6 career matches while he's been on the Pelicans. Only gone over once, and that was April of last year. When they faced off to begin the year, this year, he only had 19. So I like his chances of going under here. It's not the biggest spread in the world, or not spread. It's not the biggest over-under in the world. 230 is not that high. Might be the lowest on... Yeah, it's the lowest in terms of the games today, so it could be a defensive battle, and I like Ingram's chances of going under here. Let's check Brandon Ingram out over on OddsJam. This is another one of the partners of the page. Definitely check them out. Another free week trial. If you hit my link in the description, I would do these in unison. They're very powerful when they're being used together. And we're seeing Brandon Ingram here, and we do see that these lines have moved a little bit. So that's the tough part. Lines are always moving, so when I go to make these videos, sometimes the odds are a little bit different from when I chose them. And we do see that the overs for PRA, points assists, and rebound assists are all favoring the over here for Brandon Ingram. Now, I will say it's not anything crazy. This PRA over does look pretty solid, as other sportsbooks got it at 34.5, and PrizePicks has it at 33.5. But we do see that points under is favored to go under. Probably not my favorite play in the world now that these things have moved around. But we do see that we're getting minus 119 odds on PrizePicks. It's fixed odds. It doesn't matter what you choose. You're going to get minus 119 odds in 6-man or 5-man flexes. And other sportsbooks have them around minus 125, minus 127 to go under this line. So definitely still looking like a solid one. We looked at the matchup. We know he doesn't play very well against these guys, and could be a defensive battle today. So I'm still playing it for sure. It's not my favorite in the world, though. I want to be very upfront that these lines do move. So not the best in the world in terms of the OddsJam, looking at that. But do want to go over to RotoWire, another partner of the channel. Go over to see what they're thinking about Brandon Ingram. And they are, kind of actually thinking what I'm thinking, and going against what the sportsbooks are saying. So that PRA even is looking like the under on RotoWire. So just another data point. Again, you don't want to go just sit solely off one tool. RotoWire is completely free right now, guys. If you hit my link in the description, you can check them out. It's like going to any other website. Don't even have to put a credit card in. So as they're in beta, definitely take advantage of what they're giving out. And we do see that the points line, 23.5, is very much favored to go under. It's the line that's popping up the best for him. And RotoWire's got this at 19.55. So OddsJam, threw me a little curveball, switching up their odds on me. And it's not just OddsJam; that's just what other sportsbooks are thinking. And usually they're pretty consistently right, because they know what they're doing. They're billion-dollar companies, but they are still favoring this under on points. So sorry about that, a little stumbling around from this first pick, but I think we're still locking it in. Points under 23.5 for Brandon Ingram looks good. Let's move along here and go to our next play. Going to be going to a different game. Going to go to the Bucks and the Spurs game. Going to be attacking Chris Middleton. This is an interesting game. When we go over to RotoWire again, kind of check out what's been going on, who's here, who's playing today. We do see that this game is a 249-point total. So that's crazy. That's super high. And we also see that Milwaukee's favored by 16.5. So no Wembanyama in this Spurs game. The Milwaukee Bucks might absolutely crush them. But if it does stay close, this is a huge over-under of 249. So definitely going to be able to attack some value in this game. I think you could go to a few different guys, but Middleton I'm seeing as the best value here. We were going to his 19.5 points and assists and going over here. He's been consistently hitting this even in the past 5 games on PrizePicks. You can see he's averaging 21.4. But going over to Fantasy Optimizer, kind of checking out what other sportsbooks are thinking about him, I think they will be a little bit better than that Ingram line from earlier. And we do see points and assists, popping up at 52.64% chance to hit. Looks like other sportsbooks do have this at 20.5. And FanDuel, that has it still at 19.5, is pretty heavily at minus 125 favoring this. So definitely like this Middleton line. If they do blow them out, Middleton's not going to get as much run, but you'd have to expect that he's kind of part of that reason that they are blowing him out. So I like Middleton in this spot. And let's see what he's been doing so far this year, and then we'll go over to RotoWire and see what they're projecting as well. So let's go to Middleton, open up his page, and we'll go to his points and assist line. And we do see that minus 105 on the over for 20.5, but again, we get this at 19.5, which is minus 122. We see he's done it in 4 of the last 5 games, but before that hasn't been hitting it very consistently pretty much all year. But they got to start getting Middleton into the swing of things. You can see the minutes have just continued to uptick, and he'll typically be getting around 30 minutes once he's fully ramped, which it looks like he pretty much is. So I think this is a good spot for him. They should look at this as an opportunity to get Middleton more reps, get him into the rhythm of things as the season progresses. And really liking this Middleton line. Let's go to RotoWire for that last data point, see what other sportsbooks are saying. PRA popping off the page here. They're projecting 28.61 for him. And then that points and assist line is right around 21.7. So looks pretty solid for him. You could go to his PRA. Looks like the hit rate's a little bit better on that one as well on the year. So definitely look at that. I'm going to be going to points and assists. Just follow the odds here on this one. And looks like everything is pretty much in the blue except for that hit rate, which, again, we saw the minutes upticking. So I like Middleton. That's going to be our third play of the day. And let's continue rolling here. Don't want to make this one too long, but want to get you guys as many data points as possible. Staying in that same game, going to go to Zach Collins. Again, no Wembanyama. The biggest advocate for that is going to be Zach Collins, as he's going to be the center, running a ton of minutes, should get 30 plus minutes. Again, this one has blowout potential. That sucks, but I think Zach Collins can easily get there even with the blowout. But if it's not a blowout, that's huge for us. 27.0 fantasy score. Let's go to his RotoWire page, actually just start there, and see what he's been doing, obviously so far this year, but see what the projections are thinking for Collins. So we can pull up his page, and we do see his 19.5 points and rebounds line. I've seen that pop up a few times. For every single Spur, you're going to see the hit rate pretty much on the red here for today. That's because Wembanyama's not there. He's a very high usage player on that team. But we do see that fantasy score is down here, 27.0, leaning on the over. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, leaning on the over, and RotoWire is projecting 37.26 on a 27 line. So ridiculous jump there. Expecting them to probably get a few blocks in there, steal maybe, and then score some points, grab some boards, things like that. You could go to this points and rebounds line. The sportsbooks are favoring this line as well. We'll check it out on OddsJam real quick. But they don't have fantasy score, unfortunately, so we can't look at it over there. But yeah, loving this fantasy score. A 10-point projection difference in the RotoWire's data. So I'm really liking this. The only thing that's going to hurt this is if it's a ridiculous blowout, like 30-plus points, and Zach Collins only sees like 20 minutes or so. But he's expected to get 31, I think, projected minutes. 31 minutes, so if he's in that realm, he should definitely crush this line. I will show his fancy optimizer line, though, real quick, and go to Zach Collins. And we do see that points and rebounds line, 19.5, is popping up, 52.6% chance to hit. Some sportsbooks got this at minus 152 on FanDuel, minus 145 on Caesars. So again, if you're not loving the fantasy score line, this is probably the other one I would go for. So let's continue moving on here. That's 4 picks. Let's try to get these last 2 in here for you. This one's a funny one, but probably one of my favorite plays on the day. Yusuf Nurkic over 1.5 turnovers. Let's go to his outlier page, see what he's been doing so far this year, and kind of see why I'm attacking this line. Yusuf Nurkic, go ahead. There we go. And we'll see his turnovers lines all the way to the right. And we're seeing minus 130 to go over, plus 100 to go under, so love to see the difference in the odds there. And 6 out of 10 games he's gone over this. 65% of the games on the season, that's 17 of 26 games he's gone over this. And going up against Portland, who allows a ton of turnovers, or forces a ton of turnovers, 15.4 per game. If you extend that to centers, it's also pretty good, 22nd, which is 2.5 per game. So in terms of this, looking really good. In terms of the head-to-head, also looking really good. Has played these guys once earlier this year, about a month ago. And he had 3. That's all we need. We really only need 2. And pretty much his whole career has been getting at least 2 against these guys, except for this one game back in 2021. Take these with a grain of salt. This is the big one. But yeah, looking like Nurkic should get at least 2 turnovers today. Let's see what the optimizer is saying on OddsJam. See what other sportsbooks have this guy's line at. Let's go find Yusuf Nurkic. Go ahead and apply there. And we do see, if it loads, because my internet is not always the best. While this is loading, we'll go to RotoWire. Let's go to Nurkic, and we do see that 1.5 turnovers is his top line for the over on the day. RotoWire is projecting 2.14. We just need 2. The hit rate looks great. Everything's looking blue on this side, so Nurkic, really, really good spot for him. And then we do see on the fancy optimizer, as it did load, 53.16% chance to hit. Love to see it. The sportsbooks that have it at minus 130, minus 135, minus 145 on Fliff. So yeah, really, really liking this line, even though it's not the sexiest line in the world. But let's go get our last guy in here. It's going to be an under, and it's going to be Porzingis. This is probably the best game of the night, I think at least. The Ja versus Zion will be fun, Ja coming back. But obviously Boston versus Golden State, they were in the finals together just a few years ago. I'm going to be going to his under 9.5 rebounds and assists, though. And let's go check out why. Let's see his outlier page, see what he's been doing so far this year, and then check out the matchup and things like that. Kristaps Porzingis. What we got? Rebounds and assists. Go ahead and find that. And we find that the over is plus 100. Under is minus 125. That's great to see. He's gone under in 7 of the last 10 games. 2023 as a whole, he's gone under in 14 of 19 games. Absolutely love to see that. Hasn't played the Warriors while on the Celtics, so we don't have that data point, which is unfortunate. But I did go back to 2022, actually, and saw his only matchup against the Golden State Warriors, or the one that I could find, and he went under there. He only had 9. So obviously this is on the Wizards, totally different scenario. But he's been absolutely crushing this under against the Warriors, or not the Warriors, against the entire year for the Celtics. 14 and 19. I don't think this changes. And again, great to see that at least last year he went under this line against Golden State as well. So all right, let's go to RotoWire. Porzingis. We see that his best line on the day is under points, actually. They're projecting 17.63. Again, don't just specifically go off of this. I'm looking at 9.5 rebounds and assists because I know the odds are also favoring that, and he's looked great to go under all year. So they're projecting 9.08. If he gets 9, it might be a little sweaty, but that's all we need him to do to go under that 9.5. Just can't get 10. So hit rate looks good. PrizePicks has got it 9.5, and we're going to definitely take advantage of that. Not sure what's going on with OddsJam right here. Let's go ahead and get rid of Porzingis maybe. I do want to show you the odds because it's looking pretty good. Porzingis. There we go. All right, there it is. 9.5 rebounds and assists, 52.74% chance to hit. And again, minus 130, minus 135, minus 145 on Fliff. Odds are definitely in our favor. So those will be our 6 plays. Sorry about jumbling around a little bit. Excited about this one. Again, only 4 games, but it lets you, deep dive into some of those picks and understand the games a little bit more. And definitely some value on the board, even in a smaller slate. So, all right, so let's quickly go over the plays that we chose today. This is for anyone that just skipped to the end of the video. I don't recommend doing that because the analysis is, kind of the bigger part of this whole video than rather just the picks. But let's go over that really quick. Ja Morant is the taco we're attacking. That just happens to be the one that's up right now. There should be a bunch of tacos today as it's like Christmas tacos. You can see them with the reindeer here. So definitely take advantage of those. They're discounted lines. They're all positive EV. So I always attack the tacos, with confidence that they're going to hit at a decent rate, 75-80% rate. So definitely be attacking those. Brandon Ingram, under 23.5 points. We saw this one moving around a little bit. Now the odds are favoring kind of his PRA and his other ones, but they are still slightly favoring the under for his points. And we saw that, with RotoWire as well, as the projection is 19.5 or something. So they're projecting the under. The odds are looking pretty solid as well. So Brandon Ingram under against Memphis. Chris Middleton over against San Antonio. Should be a crazy high-scoring game. 249.0 is the total points. So should be a great opportunity for Chris Middleton to, get his rhythm back. His minutes have been trending upwards like we saw, and could be a great spot for him to, kind of pop off a little bit. Zach Collins also on the over for 27.0 fantasy score. No Wembanyama, so he's kind of the sole big man down there. And should see, a decent amount of run, 30 plus minutes tonight is what the projection's saying. And if he gets that, he should totally get this line. It will just come down to if they lose by like 30 and he only gets like 20 minutes, that would be why we would miss this. But, if he plays his, 30 minutes like projected, he should be able to crush this line. Nurkic, not the sexiest line in the world, but definitely a good one. Hit rate looks really good on the year. Has gone over this in like the past 5 matchups against Portland, including this year where you had 3. We only need 2, and looking really good against this matchup. And then Porzingis on the under 9.5 rebounds and assists, going against Golden State, but he really hasn't been going over this line very often at all this year. I think it's like 14 of 19 games he's gone under. And then the one matchup I could find from last year where he played the Warriors while he was on the Wizards, he went under this as well. So little, recap there. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this. Definitely hit my links in the description. It helps my channel out a lot when you guys do that. It lets them know that I sent you there. And of course I do get a little bit of a bump and stipend or whatever it is for you guys doing that. So, hit my description for all the tools I was using, all the, pick'em sites, chalkboards new. Definitely check them out. Take advantage of those promos. And also check out the Discord, guys. We go over free plays in the Discord. We have a general chat, and then there's a rich club where you can join. It's $20 a month or $19.99 a month, and you get access to all my slips. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Let's make some money tonight. It's only a few games in the NBA, but should be some fun ones. That's going to do it. Peace out.